Johnny Walker, ghost of yesterday's tear lurking, smirking lightly, suffering in misery silently. Host of yesterday reappeared, gurgling in mighty nightly dream, just a fate flipping. By day wishing to be deported, imported to the land of opportunity, linked to the bloody fuzzy American dream. On the ship he is sailing over the Atlantic from the colder northern seas, reborn again in New York City. A classic import who ignored the closing doors, moved quickly, bitterly, only to pour his own blood into his tainted ancient sword. When he fell off, he fell on with his head on the sharp torch at his own expense, ripped into dungeons. The rent in apartments he couldn't afford. So on the city floor he bit these born forbidden fruits, ignoring the bitter truths. Scrape and scrap, making bad trash himself from out of hell bag, held back. Yes, what do you expect in a world where success is scarier than failure? Yes, what do you protect in a world that is just as impressed with your failure? Johnny Walker, the fast, ornery talker, the hungry jack, trapped in silent black, misused as temporary mortar. He grew hairy, scary, and darker, ripped with dishonor. He slipped in the puddle toward the corner. Now he's rolling his dice. His whole life is a vice. Now he's growing wise from long strongholds of nights, stripped of paradise, mind blind with bitter inner insight, terrorized. Now he's rolling his eyes, deadly like knife in his sight. It might be in his side, it might be embedded in his half-breathless side. Sex is just a release in these tightly icy wound times on earthly ground, just to breathe, says he. In the same breath, claiming he's jinx staining the sheets with urine and feces. Pure men don't bleed in death ecstasy unless they got that heart disease. The next week, the next century, he started bootlegging. I'm guessing selling booze, brews, and blue jeans. The squeamish, intoxication, addicted genius, screwing anything moving, smooth with his new business scene. Unmoved by lie or truth, need not prove the meaning. And yes, what do you reflect when everyone expects your failure? Crabs in a sad axe packed bucket, shove it in your face just to touch it, just to touch it. Now Mr. Walker is somehow quicker and smarter, adjusted the Scottish accent to something less coarse, hoarse and offensive, less restless, more strategic. He sold the latest and greatest commercially, linked to high-speed blink flashing technology, manipulating the ever-changing faces of reality and high frequency. Frequently, he receives copious amounts of dirty currency through tickling the fancy of the capitalistic country. Commerce, commerce. He exploded on the scene from the green grass he was watching, licking the mean dirt. Good for him, look for him in search of the greatest, the pinnacle. Still he hates the sin created by the men sold on gold. On the hill he waits for the blood-drunk sun to travel into shadow. So tomorrow the cotton gins had started spinning in the Southland. In autumn the heartless men devised a plan to sour bitter treats, centered in the streets to collide and coincide with the prized uncle set. There's a jungle land in the soil of America, frightened, fighting not to die again. Royal are those that can laugh at them who rose in the throes of broke struggling. From out of the dungeon there blows drunk thunder, banging in the strange vacant places, abandoning men, standing hungry, desperate, separated and limp. Hell yeah, and broken, stolen vision sold his scruple cold to be a pupil of dirt and struggle. Distributing the poison to victims, upon scarred in the kitchen, just trying, dying to be living. Yeah. For shine, shine, they are killing in blind times. God save the brave aged children. And what was it that called you from your cheap sleep in a cheap dream as I saw you argue with Mr. Fiend? We have to claw our way to the top with while in the dark, cheap drinking a cheap drink. And yes, what do you expect when everyone's flex stresses in the depths of an unjust conflict of interest? The soul sold yesterday, but tomorrow still collects bits of interest.